I gotta ask. I had no idea that you had a birthmark, and I watched the show. Like I know for some reason, like it just didn't even register.
Yeah.
Has that been the way it's worked in most of your, as it relates to roles? Like, does it just becomes a part of the character? I mean,
yeah, I don't think I've ever had it covered for a role.
That's awesome.
There was a point where I would cover it for auditions because my management team would say things like, I don't want your tape to do really well. And then it goes off to some producers and just one of them is taken out because he's like, what's that thing on his face? So I would cover it for some auditions, but then I've never had it covered for a job. People have always just been like, yeah, I think it's kind of cool. And thank you. And in the early seasons of the show, I would be contacted a lot by people who would say things like, my kid has a huge birthmark on his face. And I almost felt like a bit of a fraud because like I've never been insecure about it ever, even when I was a kid. And sometimes they'd send me a picture of their 8-year-old who has one and it's like half their face or something. And they're like, seeing you has given them confidence. And I'm like, this little thing, like I feel like I'm not deserving of that. Yeah. Like, thanks for putting it out there because it feels like so nothing in comparison. It's never really felt like a thing that I've had to deal with. Like,
but didn't deter you at all from acting?
No. If anything, like people always just said, like, "Did you get hit in the face?" And I was like, I should come up with a better story for yes. I remember. So one of the ways that I used to make money before I was working as an actor was I do these like role play things for medical students. So while they were learning, but they know or they're meant to know that it's fake, right? And there was this one, and she kept looking at my head, and he's got a laceration on his left eye, which first of all, it's not a laceration. It's clearly not. That's a cut. And I'm also like, then you're going to be a doctor? But it definitely like threw her off. But, all my life people have said things like, what's that on your face? Birthmark, move on. It never, I tell you the thing that deterred me more than anything physically was like I had really, really bad acne as a teenager. And that was the one that was like the big deterrent moving into acting because I always used to think, well, no one on TV ever seems to, so I don't think I'm going to find any success here. And
then you realize that they cake shit on it and you can't even tell.
Yeah. So my first show that I did before this, my first show in America, I was still very much struggling with acne. And I see it in the episodes, and I'm sure, it's caked on, but, there are only so much you can do. But that was like a big thing that I used to deal with physically of, like, it just didn't feel like there were people on TV that had that and dealt with that. So I was like, I probably am not going to find any success here.
But you did.
It went away. But to be fair, I did. You're right. Even during that time, which I think is a good lesson as well, that there are these things that feel so big to us, when we look in the mirror that like, oh my God, everybody must look at me like I'm this freak. And then you go into the world and nobody really cares.
It's true. But sometimes people do. Like I worked at Nickelodeon and I had acne and they gave so much of a shit that they sent me to a dermatologist and some lady to do my skin. And
okay.
They cared so much about the way I looked.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
So wait, Nicholas, so like how old were you?
Like maybe 18, 19.
So that must have been like...
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like probably like senior year to like top of college.
Yeah.
So like 18, 19, 20.
So them like sending you to someone, did that feel like...
It was weird. And it was more than, it was like my hair, it was my weight, it was my eyebrows. It was every little thing.
Isn't it so messed up?
Yeah.
Like that aspect of the whole thing where like you must look like this, and I just think that must just mess with your mind so much.
It did. And I remember being the wardrobe lady at one of the shoots. I did so many things. And like one of the ladies was like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in Spanx. We're gonna smooth you out."
Wow.
She put me in Spanx.
How'd they look?
Fucking amazing.
All right. Yeah. I think that's his thing. Yeah.
I've been wearing Spanx every day since.
Can't you tell?
Changed my fucking life.
In that case.
No, but it is interesting because there is a lot of weight. And I remember one of the executives saying, "Oh, we like Zach so much because he looks like everybody else."
So, somebody said to me once, right? It's a very similar vein. I think it was my manager. He was like, something good about you is like, you're handsome, but you're not too handsome. And it's like, thanks. But
you're good looking.
No, but it is important to be like relatable, right?
And
so that's actually a compliment.
Good looking.
Yeah.
It's like fucked up, but it's also real.
Yeah. And it's also, I don't know about you, but the way that I am, I'm always like looking for the insult in there. And I'm like, that sounds nice, but hold on. Or like, you know, you read the comments on something and you read 500 nice ones, but you're looking for the one that's like really mean to you. And then you see that and you're like, all right, good, I can turn it off now. So yeah, it's so weird, the like mind games and the way we get in our own head.